Circle. I hope that you're doing great. I got a specific request from one of our members to start diving into the element of relationships a little bit more. And I went back and I looked in the library and I was like, yeah, we have a little bit of an empty spot in regards to just talking about relationships on their own. So I'm going to start doing a video series about relationships and how we begin to develop really strong, healthy, giving relationships and not be stuck in really toxic relationships or relationships that don't serve us. And there are going to be many, many different elements of what we cover in these trainings about relationship. But I thought that the best place to start was a little bit on a higher level and talk about how we can actually find a relationship that is good for us, that is guided by our inner wisdom of what we actually need versus what we think we want. And we've talked a lot about inner wisdom in this group and on a lot of different trainings and why we want to be directed from our inner wisdom versus always up here in our head, which is very malleable in terms of the stories that we're fed about what should we have in relationships and blah, 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 blah. So what do we need to do in order to really ensure that we step into positive, healthy relationships? There can be a tendency as we're learning how to date, or we've been in relationships, or we've even been in marriages and we're coming out of that, and there's no judgment here, right? All we want to do is we want to make sure that we start stepping into relationships that really serve us in our growth and our development, that we can have a great time in, and that really help us begin to move forward. So I'm going to have you create 2 lists, okay? Now, the first list is, what am I looking for in a partner? Now, this is not like, oh, well, he's 6 feet and he's got brown hair or blah, 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 blah. What we want to begin to put on this list, this goes for anybody who has 0 dating experience to people that have plenty of dating experience. We want to write this down on the list and we want to go, here are the things that I am really looking for in a partner. They are charismatic. They really are affectionate. They care, right? All of the wonderful things, all of the wonderful qualities, and I'm going to get to why we're going to put this down in a second. All of the wonderful qualities of what we are really looking for in a partner. Now, one of the things to keep in mind here is this is not an all-inclusive list, as if all of these things aren't met, this is not the person. No, these are things that we are looking for as guideposts and markers of seeing the person across from us and going, wow, this person really has a lot of these wonderful things. But also, we are leaving ourselves open to being surprised from energy, universe, whatever you want to call it, to there are usually and most likely many, many, many more amazing qualities in people that we don't even know that we don't even know. So write this list down, right, of the things that you're looking for in a partner, but you also want to keep in mind that this list is not all-inclusive and that you're open to being able to add to the list. Okay, so I don't know if any of you have played this game, but here in the US, we have a game called the Volkswagen Beetle game, okay? And it's a little car, right? The Volkswagen Bug. And what you do is when you are in the car driving around, you start looking for Volkswagen Bugs. And when you find one, you give them a little punch on the arm there. So what ends up happening when you play this game is, because you start looking for Volkswagen Bugs, you start finding them everywhere, right? There's like car parks full of them and they're all over the place, and there's like Volkswagen Beetle clubs that drive you by you and you see them everywhere. And this is an element of, if you seek it, you will find it. If you are looking for it, you will begin to discover it. When we are writing our list of these are the things that I'm really looking for in a partner, we begin to discover because we know that we're looking for it, that we start seeing these things in people or start not seeing them in people who aren't right for us. And we begin to identify because we set our mind to a task. And then the mind's job is to go out and basically find what we've asked it to do. This is one of the ways that the mind is really incredible in terms of how it works. Now, here comes the second list. The second list that I want you to write down, remember both of these are handwritten, is what am I not looking for in a partner? This list could also be subtitled red flags or red flares. I say red flags are kind of like, I need to consider that. I consider red flares to be, oh God, no, look out, let's get out of here. Write these things down. You want to listen to your experience. And your experience and your deepest, wisest version of you is there to guide you, to keep you out of trouble. So listen to that experience and go, here are the things that I am not looking for in a partner. Lying, right? I can't trust them. They like infidelity, whatever exists for you. This is your list, okay? It's not anybody else's list. This is your list. Now, why do we want to write this list? Because once again, if you know what you're looking for, you will find it, right, when it arrives. If you know what you are not looking for, when it does show up inevitably in life, you will go, nope, this is not the right thing for me. What we tend to do in relationships until we learn really hard lessons is we try to force the person across from us into a narrative, even though we're ignoring red flags and red flares. Ignoring your wisdom, ignoring the things that you're not looking for in a relationship can often be far more costly than not seeing a wonderful positive quality in somebody that we didn't even know existed, right? These things that we choose to ignore because we're trying to shove people into stories or narratives to make them the one or whatever it might be are really, really, really costly. And the amount of time that you spend trying to jam that person into the narrative that you have, you could have been out back finding the person that you're actually looking for instead of spending time with the person that is not right for you. So you want to be equally as clear, if not more, of the things that you are going to draw strong, healthy personal boundaries against instead of just not having anything listed, not being certain about it. And then when these things come across the table, you're like, well, maybe, but if it's on a list and it's very clear and it's very concise and you know what you can't accept and that's guided by your wisdom, and you know what you are looking for, which is also guided by your wisdom, this is going to help you tremendously in the process of going out and dating and finding the right person for you. So, to recap, 2 lists. We want the first list to be, what am I looking for in a partner? We want the second list to be, what am I not looking for in a partner? Red flags, red flares. Spend some time with this list because this list is going to help you stay clear and it's going to give you the ability to go out into the world to seek what you are looking for, to find it, and also know what you don't want to accept. Okay? Let me know what you think of this practice. I'd love to hear what you come up with on some of your lists. And if you have any questions or comments, please drop them down in the comment section below. See you later.